Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If you read today's title, then you pretty much know what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be tinting our brows together, and I'm going to show you how useful, inexpensive, and easy it is to do your own brows at home. And best of all is that you have full control of what your brows will end up looking like. Before I get into that, I wanted to remind you that if you have not had the chance to subscribe to my channel, then this is a good time to do so, and to also hit that ring bell notification so that you are alerted every single time I upload a new video and we can stay in tune with one another. But now that you've done that, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into doing our brows together. Okay, so it's super important, obviously, to know the things that we're going to be using. And the first thing I have here is this Just for Men hair color. So if you've seen this around, it says it's just for men, but today we're going to be using it for our brows. And I'm using this in the color Real Black. Tinting is a good way to just wake up in the morning and know that your brows are going to be done. If you have very light colored brows, then this is a good way to kind of just get this done and out of the way, because sometimes our brows are what take us the longest to get done. This was only $9.99 at Jewel-Osco, and you can easily find these just about everywhere. You can find these at Walmart, Walgreens, etc., sometimes for a little cheaper, but like I said, this one was $9.99. And what comes in here, you might wonder, is this little, here, let me just read this for you. So it says there's a color developer, a color base, a mixing tray, and a brush. So from all these things, the only thing you might not be using is the brush, but if you want to use that, it might come in handy if you want. But this is the little plastic tray. Here's the little brush. As a matter of fact, we will be using it because we're going to be using the developer and the base color. And these are the two little base colors. And so the best part of this is that these will last you for a very long time, so you can do this for a while without having to buy a new one. So it's $10, but you're going to be able to use that for a very long time. Just in case you're wondering too, this brow tinting will last you for about 7 days. If you know how to take care of your brows, it'll definitely last you for about 7 days. If not, it might just last you about 4 or 5 days, but typically it has worked for about 7 days. So my brows right now have no color in them, but I did wax some not too long ago, so that's why I have more of a defined shape. So that's also super important when you're doing your brows. Make sure that when you're tinting them, make sure that they're well done and that you've removed any little hairs that you do not want, any undesired hairs. You also need a concealer. Any concealer is good, so don't go out there and buy a new one if you don't need one, okay? Don't go out there thinking, Karina said I need a new concealer, because you don't need a new concealer. I'm using this one in particular though, this Jouer one, because I love the applicator. We're going to be using this concealer mainly to shape our brow and to let us know how we want our brow to look like when we start tinting and filling in with the color. And you also need an angled brush. Whatever you want is good. I have this tiny one. You can use the one that you use for your brows on the daily. That is good. That will work just as well. And you also need a little cotton pad or a towel or whatever you want to use. This is just going to be for the end process, just to remove the hair color. Let's go ahead and start doing this right now. So the first thing we're going to use is this color developer. We're going to apply about 2 or 3 dots, okay? So it's a small amount. Okay, there, it's already coming out. So I'm just going to do about that much, okay? And I'm going to do the same amount of color base as I did for the developer. So now I'm opening this one, and I'm about to pour the exact amount on the other side. And now with the brush that it came with, I'm going to go ahead and mix this. I hope this comes in handy for you, because I think one of the most essential parts for me when doing my makeup are my brows, but it's also the part that takes me the longest. So I'm just mixing this around, and you'll see that the color starts turning darker, and it'll continue to turn darker, okay? So I'm gonna set this aside. This is kind of sitting there while I'm doing my concealer. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my concealer, and I'm gonna start defining my brow. And I'm also gonna do the other side while I'm at it. I hadn't done my brows in such a long time. I got them waxed recently and I had not done that in such a long time. I think it had been more than a year because I always get so scared. Like I said, I think brows are one of the most essential part of my everyday makeup, and I just like for them to look thick, and I'm always scared that they're gonna go a little overboard and make them super thin. Okay, so there you go. I look pretty silly, but trust me, they'll turn out good, and the better you define your shape, then the better they will come out. I'm gonna start applying this. I'm gonna grab a small amount. I'm not gonna grab too much. I don't think you can see that, but it's just a very small amount. And I'm gonna go ahead and start applying right here in the center. I always like to start here in the center and then move back, and then at the very end we're gonna go here at the front, okay, with the result. But I think doing it on your own, you have full control of what your brows will end up looking like. So that's what I like. I like knowing that my brows will look good, and if I mess them up, then it's my fault, right? It's nobody else's fault but mine. And now I'm gonna start applying on this side, but notice I have not applied to the center part just yet, okay? We're just doing this back part right now. And I'm just adding more. Okay, so this is what they're looking like so far. And now I'm gonna start going in with a smaller amount at the very front of my brow, okay? So now I'm gonna start shading in. So I'm gonna do a little line on both sides. And I'm gonna drag this color up, okay? I'm not gonna grab any more, I'm just kind of removing a little bit, the excess. And I'm gonna start pulling this color up. Now with this brow thing, it's like a trial and error. We're gonna do a certain amount of time that I think is good, that I've tried in the past and it's worked. But sometimes that first time, or even this first time, might not work as well as we wanted it to, meaning not that it's gonna look super dark, but it might look too light. So if it ends up looking too light, then we can go in a second time. It pretty much all depends on how dark or how light you want your brows to look, okay? Okay, so there you go. They look absolutely insane, I know. But now what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait for 10 minutes. Let's do 11 minutes. I've done that in the past, and trust me, it doesn't look horrible. So let's do 11 minutes, and then we'll come back together and see what they end up looking like, okay? So let's start counting as of now. Okay guys, we're done waiting. So now look at how black they look. They look insane, and look at how dark this looks now. Like, it just turns super dark. Like I said, it started off looking like a golden color, and now it completely changed. So now I'm just using these cotton pads to start removing the color. And all I have on this pad is water. So I don't have anything else but water. So I'm just kind of removing the color. And I am applying a bit of pressure right now to get the excess color off. And see, it immediately starts looking a lot lighter. Okay, so look at that. That looks so different. And I love that. So usually I have a little bald spot right here, and definitely filled that in and make them so much darker. And now I'm gonna start removing this side. Look at that. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so I'm gonna use more and continue to remove this. Just make sure that when you fully clean your face, you don't go and apply any of the cleanser on your brows, or else you'll completely wash them off. Okay, so my brows are completely done, and this is what they're looking like. I really like them. They just went a little bit darker than what I usually have them. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup just so that you see how they work into my everyday makeup look. I'm just gonna do a very basic. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply foundation. I'm super hot, so that's my cheeks are super red. Oh my God, I just noticed I have this like black dot right over here. Okay, so let me go ahead and do my makeup off camera, and then I'll show you what this ends up looking like. Okay guys, so I just finished my makeup, and this is what it ended up looking like. My brows I absolutely loved. I did not apply any extra makeup, did not use a pencil or anything for my brows, so I absolutely love them. I just went ahead and concealed them a little bit with this Marc Jacobs and a little bit of this brush right here, and just kind of define them a little bit extra just so that they look very sharp and clean, but other than that I didn't touch them at all. So I think they look absolutely beautiful. I really like them. So now the good thing is that from now on, when I wake up for these next few days, then they'll be intact, and I won't have to worry about coloring them in. That'll save me so much time. If you guys try this at home, please let me know if it worked out for you. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please like it, and do not forget to share it. I know I don't mention that you guys should share it with others, but if you did enjoy today's video, please do not forget to share it. Again, like I said earlier, comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little ring bell notification so that we can stay in touch with one another. But for today, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, so now I can stop it. 1, 2, 3.